Hello, this is your Friday Info Hub. Here are our top stories. Port Kaituma residents warned not to use river water. UNDP electoral needs assessment team pays courtesy call on the Prime Minister. Nurses urged to embrace the profession. Rice sector blooming as production increases. And 40 women have been given the tools needed to empower themselves. The details of these stories and much more after this. We begin by telling you that the Guyana Water Incorporated, GWI, is urging residents of Port Kaituma to not use the water from the Port Kaituma River, since its quality has been compromised due to mining activities. GWI has shut down the engine-driven water supply system in the community and will recommence pumping as soon as clearance is given by the Water Quality Department. In the interim, potable water is available from the Port Kaituma pump station, and residents are being urged to make full use of this water source. An electoral needs assessment team from the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, earlier today paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu at his official residence. Details from Gabriela Patram.
The team's visit was to evaluate the current political and electoral environment in Guyana and assess the form of future UN electoral assistance. The team will recommend the type of assistance that should be provided and the parameters and modalities that will govern such assistance. The UN team consisted of Senior Electoral Political Affairs Officer Hassan Sese, Election Governance Expert Fernanda Lopez, Senior Political Affairs Officer Guillermo Kendall, and accompanying the team to the courtesy call was United Nations Resident Coordinator and United Nations Development, Mikiko Tanaka. The team's request for an audience with the Prime Minister for insight arose given his experience as a veteran of the local political scene. The UNDP team accordingly deemed his insight as invaluable to their tasks. Gabriela Patram for InfoHub.
As International Nurses Week comes to an end, Public Health Minister Valdo Lawrence is reminding nurses of the crucial role they play in society and has urged that they embrace the profession. Alexis Rodney tells us more.
Nurses in Region 5 were charged by Public Health Minister Valdo Lawrence to be passionate and professional about their career.
That you are a nurse, and that is the profession that you choose. And you know what? Throughout the entire world, it is seen and known as the noble profession. And so this afternoon, I want to encourage you to embrace it and be proud of your profession. And do not be a shadow in any one of the facilities that you are placed.
Minister Lawrence further urged the nurses to work hand in hand with each other to enable the health sector to achieve its full potential.
I am depending on you to help each other so that we can have that high standard, that professionalism, that collectivity within the various health facilities. Don't only do it by yourselves, but do it together.
The ultimate goal of the government, the minister added, is to motivate medical professionals, especially nurses, to make efforts in improving services while focusing on self-development. Nurses Week ends on May 12. Alexis Rodney for InfoHub.
There continues to be an increase in rice production as the Guyana Rice Development Board, GRDB, reports the harvest of over 85% of its cultivation. Here is Stefan Gabriel with that report.
With 12,401 hectares of paddy remaining to be harvested, the Guyana Rice Development Board continues to see improved numbers of paddy production for the first rice crop 2018. General Manager Nizam Hassan.
As at Monday the 7th of May, the industry has harvested 86% of the production thus far. and that was equivalent to 75,137 hectares of the 87,538 that were sown. So what we have seen in the forest crop, as we had reported earlier, generally there's been improved production, improved productivity, manageable pests and diseases complex. So the issues that were there were manageable.
With the increase of crop production from January to April 2018, there was a correspondent export increase as compared to 2017. Hassan explains further.
For the period January to April 2018, we exported 139,501 tons, valued at 57.7 million, compared to 120,811 tons, valued at 47 million US, for the corresponding period in 2017. So I'm talking about the first 4 months of 2018 compared to the first 4 months of 2017. In terms of the volume, that's about 15% more we've exported.
The increases in exports can be credited to new markets. Among these is Mexico, accessed through an initial intervention by Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu in 2015, which has received over 174,000 tons of paddy. So far, Region 9 has harvested 100% of its cultivation, while Regions 2, 3, and 4 have harvested over 90%. Regions 5 and 6 have harvested over 80 and 78% respectively. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
40 women are on the path of transforming their lives following their graduation from a Self-Reliance and Success in Business workshop in Anns Grove on the east coast of Demerara. Zariel Williams was there and spoke with some of the women about the benefits of the workshop.
It will be a great change for me because I have my business, and the way that I have been running it, that's not the way. And with the workshop that we did presently for the past 5 days, it had helped me so much.
With the teachings that we got from Sir Yuan, I'm going to implement that into what I'm doing to better it and be more successful.
It helps us to improve on our lifestyle, so I will try to better that and also try to create a plan to execute a business, whether it's in Anns Grove or out of Anns Grove, but try to advertise it and advise persons to create a business.
The 27th Self-Reliance and Success in Business workshop held at the Ebenezer Congregational Church in Anns Grove gave the women the necessary steps to establish their own businesses or expand existing ones and shared life skills. First Lady Sandra Granger, the project's pioneer, said more requests are being made for these workshops. This, she noted, demonstrates that Guyanese women are ready to be more empowered countrywide.
Which tells me that women are interested in moving on and becoming self-sufficient and self-reliant and confident about themselves, both in the economic sense and in a personal sense.
Minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources, Mona Brooms, pointed out that the community was neglected under the previous PPP administration. Now, she explained, women are being given the opportunity to succeed.
Before 2015, there was not a Sandra Granger. Neither were there a David Granger, who believe and respect women throughout this country, regardless of your race or your religion.
The workshop is organized by the Office of the First Lady in collaboration with the Ministry of Social Protection and Interweave Solutions Guyana Incorporated. To date, 1,178 persons have benefited from this program. Zaniel Williams for InfoHub.
InfoHub Sinika Thorne spoke with the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Secretary General Akbar Khan, who has commended the government for the work it has done over the past 3 years to further the development of Guyana.
The progress I've observed, just in terms of discussing the agenda of the government, I mean, there's a very ambitious agenda of the government here. There's been an awful lot of work being done to further development.
Secretary General Khan was especially pleased with the progress made in fostering social cohesion, which is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals.
As a Guyanese, it is incredibly humbling and also pleasing to see the government leading on social cohesion. And although it is only in its third year, In my view, it is absolutely essential that government models the behaviour and celebrates the diversity of this nation.
Khan also highlighted the advancement made in linking the coastline with the hinterland, providing much more access to key services to those in remote areas and providing access to ICT. He also commended the administration for leading the country down a green economy path and its preparation for the emerging oil and gas sector. Secretary General Akbar Khan is in Guyana to observe the functions of the National Assembly. He has also met and had discussions with President David Granger and other key government officials. He will also meet with Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu and the Guyana Elections Commission. The CPA's mandate is to promote the advancement of parliamentary democracy by enhancing knowledge and understanding of democratic governance. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
We now end with Cabinet Roundup.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon at today's post-cabinet press conference highlighted that President David Granger distributed copies of his recent addresses at various events which dealt with particular issues.
In this regard, His Excellency the President informed Cabinet that he had made an address on migration, miscegenation, and integration on the occasion of Portuguese Arrival Day on the 3rd of May 2018 at the Sacred Heart Roman Catholic Church, a distinctly Portuguese institution that was established in 1861. This address highlighted the history of Portuguese migration to Guyana, their integration into Guyanese society, and their contribution to national development.
The head of state also informed of his address highlights during the Indian Arrival Day celebrations at Highbury on the east bank of Berbice and at the CFATF workshop for judges and prosecutors held at the Pegasus Hotel.
In this address, it was noted that the Caribbean fragmented jurisdiction had rendered it vulnerable to transnational crime and criminal cartels that possessed the means to corrupt public officials and undermine the institutions that sustain the rule of law. His Excellency's address also alluded to the importance of the workshop to the establishment of mechanisms and strengthening measures to combat transnational financial crime and the collective enforcement of financial laws.
Cabinet was also briefed by Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan following his visit with a team of security officials to Suriname. This comes on the heels of the recent pirate attacks in that country's waters.
The Minister informed Cabinet that the government of Suriname had agreed to assist the families of the deceased by resuming the search for missing fishermen. And you recall that that search had actually come to a stop. They agreed to resume the search and by providing moral, psychological, and financial support. He also outlined for Cabinet the measures which the government of Suriname intended to implement to regulate the fishing sector and to monitor fishing vessels.
Minister Harmon announced the Cabinet's approval of the Kingdom of the Netherlands' appointment of Jacob Theodore Fredericks as non-resident ambassador.
Ambassador Fredericks, who will be resident in Paramaribo, Suriname, will succeed His Excellency Mr. Angerard van Leeuwen. Guyana and the Kingdom of Netherlands established diplomatic relations in May of 1970 and have collaborated mainly at the multilateral level. However, in recent times, there's been a heightening of relations with the Netherlands providing technical assistance and expertise on flood risk management and local challenges posed by Guyana's coastline being below sea level.
Cabinet further approved the Social Protection Minister Amna Ali's recommendation of the appointment of 32 boards of guardians across the 10 administrative regions. They are serving for 1 year.
The boards of guardians are responsible for reviewing requests for public assistance, and these reviews are guided by the Poor Release Act, which considers the socio-economic circumstances of individuals requesting assistance and also provide safety net programs that promote self-sufficiency to persons receiving public assistance.
The annual reports of the National Communications Network for 2015 to 2016, the National Bureau of Standards for 2011, and the Guyana Securities Council for 2017 were also presented to Cabinet. Cabinet also gave its approval for officials to attend several high-level international meetings. These include the Caribbean Council of Tourism Ministers and Commissioners of the Caribbean Tourism Organization in New York, and Guyana will also be represented at the 6th Regional Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction in the Americas in Colombia and the Outlook Forum on the hurricane season in Barbados. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Connect with us 24/7 on our website, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and WhatsApp for more details as we bring you updates on the developments across Guyana. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.